Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's lecture on the Fallopian Tube, also known as the uterine tube or oviduct. This paired structure is vital to human reproduction, and today we'll explore its anatomy, structure, functions, and more. Let's start with the basics. The fallopian tubes are paired structures, each about 10 centimeters long, positioned in the medial 3/4 of the upper free margin of the broad ligament. Each tube has two critical openings. The first is the uterine opening, communicating with the lateral angle of the uterine cavity measuring just 1 millimeter in diameter. The second is the pelvic opening, or abdominal ostium, at the lateral end with a diameter of about 2 millimeters. These openings are essential for the tube's function. The fallopian tube's location ensures it facilitates gamete transport and fertilization. Let's now explore its anatomical parts. Parts of the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube has 4 distinct parts, from medial to lateral. First, the intramural or interstitial part lies within the uterine wall, measuring 1 to 5 centimeters in length and 1 millimeter in diameter. It's the narrowest portion and serves as the gateway from the uterus. Next is the isthmus, an almost straight segment, 3 to 4 centimeters long and 2 millimeters in diameter, critical for gamete transport. Moving laterally, we reach the ampulla, a tortuous part about 5 centimeters long, where fertilization typically occurs. Finally, the infundibulum, a wide, funnel-shaped segment, 1 to 5 centimeters long with a maximum diameter of 6 millimeters. It ends in the abdominal ostium, surrounded by 20 to 25 radiating fimbria. One longer fimbria, the ovarian fimbria, attaches to the outer pole of the ovary, ensuring ovum pickup. Each part is specialized, working together for reproduction. Let's now examine the structural layers. Structural layers of the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube has 3 layers. The outermost serous layer consists of peritoneum covering the tube on all sides, except along the mesosalpinx attachment, providing support and protection. Beneath is the muscular layer, with an outer longitudinal and inner circular layer, enabling peristaltic movements for gamete and embryo transport. Finally, the mucous membrane, lined with epithelium on a vascular connective tissue reticulum, is thrown into longitudinal folds. It has 3 cell types: columnar ciliated epithelial cells, most abundant near the ovarian end, making up 25% of mucosal cells, beating to guide the ovum. Secretory columnar cells, predominant in the isthmic segment, comprising 60% of epithelial cells, producing nourishing secretions, and PEG cells, a variant of secretory cells interspersed between them. These layers create an environment optimized for reproduction. Let's now discuss the tube's functions. Functions of the fallopian tube. The fallopian tubes have 2 vital functions. First, transport of gametes. They move the ovum from the ovary to the uterus and sperm toward the ampulla, where fertilization occurs, aided by cilia and muscular contractions. Second, they facilitate fertilization and zygote survival through secretions from secretory and PEG cells, nourishing gametes and the early zygote. These functions make the tube essential for reproduction. Now let's explore its blood supply, lymphatics, and nerve supply. Blood supply, lymphatics, and nerve supply. The fallopian tube is well vascularized and innervated. Its arterial supply comes from the uterine and ovarian arteries, ensuring rich blood flow. Venous drainage occurs through the pampiniform plexus into the ovarian veins. Lymphatics run alongside ovarian vessels to para-aortic nodes, supporting immune surveillance and fluid balance. The nerve supply from uterine and ovarian nerves makes the tube highly sensitive to handling, important for surgical considerations. This support ensures the tube's functionality. Let's conclude with its development. Development of the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube develops from the upper vertical part of the Müllerian duct between the 6th and 10th weeks of embryonic development. This origin, shared with the uterus and upper vagina, highlights the interconnected development of the reproductive system. Understanding this helps us appreciate congenital anomalies affecting the tract. Let's recap. The fallopian tube, a 10-centimeter paired structure in the broad ligament, has uterine and pelvic openings facilitating gamete transport. It has 4 parts: intramural, isthmus, ampulla, and infundibulum, each with specific roles. Its 3 layers: serous, muscular, and mucous support gamete transport and fertilization. It's supplied by uterine and ovarian arteries, drains via the pampiniform plexus, and is innervated by uterine and ovarian nerves. It develops from the Müllerian duct between weeks 6 and 10. This structure is a cornerstone of reproductive physiology,